Hey YouTube, it's homesteading cheaper by the dozen. We're working on the backhoe. Yesterday we were out here and blew out some hoses. This one here was pretty rough looking, and I thought that one would blow first, but I guess it was the lower pressure. But this one here, actually, I don't know if you can see right in there, blew apart on us. So fortunately we have a community nearby us that does hydraulic work and a lot of different stuff like that, so we took them up there and weren't able to get them done yesterday, but today got 2 new hoses put on here and wanting to get those done. They're not leaking yet. This one here we can actually use for a spare over there if worst case scenario, if something happens and we blow one out. But while we were there, also bought 6 of these, and we have some hose already. A friend of ours has a crimper, and we're going to try to crimp up and make some of our own. But we've got all these done, the 2 on the sides there and the 1 down there. So all we're lacking is these 2, and the whole front end will have all new hoses on it. Pretty excited about that. The other thing we're running a pretty small battery in here, so I was just gonna throw out a tip for people on cheap living, cheap homesteading. Went to the junkyard and I found this battery. It's a Walmart battery, but a lot of people don't know, if you look on batteries, it actually tells the date that it's made, and this is a 5 of 17, so it's only 5 months old, barely 5 months old. Pretty new battery, and these cost right around a little over 100 bucks. I know, because I had to buy one 2 weeks ago for my truck, but we ended up getting it from the junkyard for 50 bucks, so not a bad deal for a battery that's only just a couple months old. And we've run a bunch of those ever start, and they seem to do pretty well as long as you keep them charged up. Alright, that's what we're working on. We're trying to get the backhoe, got it filled back up. Blew a bunch of fluid out the other day, so we got new fluid in it. Getting it filled up. Boys are supposed to be green. Now, a lot of my swing, I think I've done some research, and I think it's inside of this. I'm bypassing on some O-rings. If anybody knows where I could get some rebuild information on that, we're probably gonna have to pull that apart. But you can see it in the video where you go to stop it at 12 o'clock and it swings all the way over to 3 o'clock or something before it wants to stop. So it's really aggravating to try to use, but it's way better than a shovel. We're trying to run it a little bit lower RPM, so it's not just swinging all wild and crazy. But we got the 2 hoses back here we still got to do. We got that one there, and then this one over in here. And most of these on the back have been redone. All the ones on the outriggers. Every few that we get done is hopefully a few we won't be having to do again, at least for a short period of time. We got these cylinders are leaking really bad. Well, not super bad. We're going through a decent amount of fluid on them, so as soon as we get the double wide set and get wife's tiny house project kind of leveled out here and just a little more road work, we gotta haul the block back to where the double wide is so we can finish getting it set up. But as soon as we get that set up, then we're gonna break these cylinders down, and I found a guy that's gonna sell us just the seal kit so we can go ahead and rebuild them ourselves. I'll try to do a video on those in case anybody wants to learn how to rebuild their own seals. That'll actually be a first for us. We've not built any, but they're not too bad, I've heard, as long as you get the packing and everything, get them all sealed up. But anyhow, that's what we're working on. What are you up to, buddy?
I'm carrying bolts for you.
Okay. Did you find a pin?
A pin.
long bolt.
Oh.
I bought some grade 8 bolts at Tractor Supply today. I'm hoping to get one that'll be long enough to go right in here. So when we actually, we'll have to pick this pin up. As you can see, it's been welded and wallered out, so we've got to do some machine work on that and rebuild that hole. And then our pin doesn't fit, and we actually compounded the problem by greasing it up. But we're hoping to get a pin so we can, well, that one's not quite long enough. I'd like to get a pin where we can pick this boom up whenever we're moving and put a bolt in it or a pin. Lock it in place. So I got 2 different size pins, so maybe I can just weld one pin onto the other one. And we can try it that way. Anyhow, that's what we're working on today. Hopefully we'll try out this new battery and get up and running again. And we bought a bunch of bolts for the other day. Before we got the double wide moved, this power steering hose went out, so we took that to a shop and they brazed an end on it and then made up a little hose to go on around. So we got that one up and going, and we bought the backhoe with all this sheet metal was loose on it, so the dash is kind of loose and everything, and we bought a bunch of bolts to get the boys bolting that all back together and get it all back in shape where it's not hanging loose and rattling. Trying to, every day that we're out here working, do a little more, patch up the machine. We've put a bunch of pins in, got some bolts to hold pins back in place. We've changed out a whole bunch of grease zerks, because I don't know, this poor machine had been greased in quite a while, at least maybe not thoroughly, but we've changed out a bunch of grease zerks. Got a bunch of grease fittings that are greased up and working a lot better, and of course changing out hoses and all of that. Oh yeah, we got the muffler. We took the muffler home the other day and welded a piece of pipe onto the muffler and got that up and running. Thing's super loud without the muffler, but hopefully before long we'll have a little bit of video of this thing up and running and getting this finished up.